Hey everybody, how's it going? Just want to take you on a quick tour today of my 2006 Honda Accord sedan. This is the LX model. I bought this car to replace my old 2004 Honda Accord coupe EX, which was pretty much my first car that I bought on my own. I really love that car, and you could tell from my previous video, I'm sure, but as some people know, that car had a lot of issues that came along with it. It wasn't the most mechanically sound, and it was burning oil back when I made that video in 2016, but that issue just got worse and worse over the years, and eventually it became very difficult to own, very difficult to drive. It was stalling out at pretty much every single stoplight, and I know I probably could have done more to fix it and you know, work on it, but I just didn't have a whole lot of spare time, so I decided just to let it go and move on to this car. And I know a lot of people probably would consider this car a downgrade compared to my 2004, but I think this car is actually very nice as a whole. For someone in my position right now in life, it's good to have a car that you don't have to worry about too much as far as getting in it and wondering if it's going to start up. This car's never let me down, thankfully, and it doesn't have all the premium features that you get on my old car, but it does have, you know, enough features that you're not going to be miserable driving it, so that's plenty enough for me. And you'll have to excuse how it's a little bit dirty inside, but it is fairly well appointed inside. I did get the manual transmission option, and as you can see, that shifter is worn out quite a bit, so I probably have to replace that at some point, but for now it's doing the job just fine. And I did upgrade to these all-weather mats, which are nice to have in the wintertime. And as you can see, this car actually has the OEM tape deck in this car, which is not something you see very often on these Honda Accords. So it's kind of nice to have, I suppose. I don't play a whole lot of tapes, but it's an interesting feature to see nonetheless. And I was pleasantly surprised by the sedan model of this car, because normally I'm more of a coupe person as far as body styling goes, but this is actually convenient to have. I like how the back is very roomy. You can get 3 people in here no problem if you choose to, and very comfortably as well. Compared to a SUV, you're going to get pretty much just enough space, or just as much space as an SUV, so it's very nice to have that as far as hauling people around. And the other feature this car came with, which was nice to have, is a trunk mat, which is very convenient. My old car did not have that, and this was pretty much in mint condition when I got it, so that was really nice to have when it came with the car when I got it. And again, as far as the oil burning is concerned, there is no char on that tailpipe at all, which is really nice to see compared to my old car, which had just greasy char all over the left and right tailpipe. It had the dual pipes on it. So let's hop on in here real quick and pop the hood. And I should mention, this car does have its fair share of blemishes and whatnot. This was not a perfect car, but I did get a pretty good price on it when I bought it. And I didn't want to spend a whole lot of money on a car at the time, so I'm very happy with that for now. Obviously, I'll want to upgrade eventually to something that's probably a bit fancier, but for now, it's actually a very nice car for someone my age. And so far, so good. No oil burning to report. And I'll give you a mileage check as well when we start it up. I know last video I neglected to take you on a test drive, so today we'll do that as well. So hopping into the Accord here, our mileage is currently sitting at 165,000. And as you can see, it starts right up. Bit of a cold day, so that's a cold start for you. And it does have just the basic base model radio in this car, and that's fine for my standards. I really don't need a whole lot more than this. I mean, I'm not in the car enough to a point where it'd be worth putting in a fancy head unit or anything, so this is fine for me right now. It does kind of cut out once in a while, which isn't great, but for the most part, it works pretty much all the time, so I really don't have any complaints about that. As you can see, running brilliantly, 2.4 liter, 4-cylinder engine. Believe it or not, I actually like this engine better than my old V6 engine. Yes, that car was very, very fast, my old 2004 Accord. But this engine, I get fantastic gas mileage, so that's really, really nice for me right now, commuting kind of a long ways away. So I'm getting about 35 miles per gallon at least, if not over 40, which is really, really nice to have in a cheaper entry-level car like this one. So without further ado, I'll hop in and take you on a test drive. So right off the bat, this car feels a lot better to drive, I will say, than my old car. The clutch is a lot lighter, which is really nice to have when you're commuting kind of a long ways away. I appreciate that the old car was meant for more high performance driving, but I don't really do that kind of driving, so it's nice to have a more basic car, just that does the bare essentials that I need it to do. Also in my old car, it seemed like it was always difficult to get the car into second gear when you're heading off from a stoplight, and in this one you really don't have that issue at all, which is really nice, because you know, when you're doing a lot of stop and go driving on the freeway, doing all of that constant first and second gear shifting, it gets old really fast when you have to do that over and over again. It's really bumpy into each gear, so this one's really, really smooth. Revs very nicely. And you can be in fifth gear by about 45 miles per hour, which is perfect for roads like these where the speed limit's about 45. Now, as far as the comfort goes when you're driving a car like this, I'm pretty tall, so the comfort is not fantastic. My legroom is pretty limited, I'll say that. So as far as long-term ownership, I really do enjoy this car, but I think I'll probably go with a truck or something like that in the future, where it's going to be a little bit bigger for people like myself. Now, as far as the passenger side goes, that's really not as much of an issue, because it seems like the passenger side gives you a bit more leg room, which is really nice to have. Though I don't ride over there very often, so that really doesn't apply to me. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the tour. If you have any requests, please let me know. Happy to help you out or show you more around the car if you'd like. And for now, thanks for watching.